There's something about ownership. There was something when it's costing you. That there was a drive, there was a motivation to continue to make it come to fruition because it's costing you. And so I can easily present some programs. I could go buy, spend a couple $1,000s on a program, or $500, bring somebody in to speak to a bunch of people, a professional in parenting, or a special in teenage this, or just a professional in investing, an investor, or whatever you need, how to dress for success, or how to write a resume, how to attend job interviews and all. I could pay somebody to come in and find like 100 people out of our neighborhoods and say, hey, I got somebody, it's free of charge, just come and listen. First of all, many people probably won't show up. Second of all, half of those that do show up won't have a pencil or a paper. And the other half of them will not finish the program if it extends greater than a day. So what I'm suggesting is, if those individuals paid themselves, if they had a desire and recognized the urgency and put some of their funds together and paid for this man to come and speak to their group, they would attend, they would bring pencil and paper, they would finish the class because the money came out of their pocket. Something about ownership, something about investing in a project yourself pretty much guarantees completion. And so what I have determined, aside from these couple other programs, traditional programs that's doing, but I'm not even thrilled about that. Someone else in my organization is spearheading those because that's not where my passion is. Because I've donated my time, 17 of those years, into the county, into free time, into sowing into the lives of people, trying to get something out of it, but I haven't seen much of a response. And I see why. I understand why now, because there's been no investment on the part of those who are the recipients. And so this organization I have now, I'm trying something new. It's a nonprofit organization, social welfare. And what I'm suggesting is, look, I got a guy we have parenting issues in our communities, for real. And there are tools, there's knowledge, there's insight. Any of us that have been to school, that go to school, we recognize you learn things in school, especially if you apply them on the outside. There are people that have issues in parenting that could easily be fixed just with the right information, with the right understanding, just for that light bulb to go off. So I would say, so there's a man here or a woman here that teaches like a week-long parenting seminar. And I would suggest then that we might have 100 people in the community that could benefit from attending this program. So what do I do? Take $600 out of my pocket, pay for this person to show up, and then invite everyone in the community to come? They won't come. And if they do come, they won't be serious. And they certainly won't finish. What I'm suggesting is you have somebody coming that's going to put on a seminar that's needed in the community for like $500 or $600 for a week. Then you need to take like 20 people or 30 people in that community and have them pay $20 a piece. We'll pay more than that to go to the movies for admission and popcorn, soda, and candy. I'm saying we need to recognize this and just put our own money together. So if I can get 20 people that would just put their $20, $19.95 together, unified, there would be enough to bring somebody in for a week-long workshop, and we could bring 100 people in the community to learn from this person. And out of those other folks that didn't put into the pot, they could bring their 20 when they show up. We'll have money for the next one to come and do the same thing, keep doing the same thing. And just like college classes, these are parenting classes, these are relationship classes, these are investing classes, these are any kind of classes you could imagine that will be a benefit, a help to the individual. And we would be paying for it ourselves. That's what I'm saying. And to me, that's the key. Until we recognize, until we take ownership and recognize that nobody is getting out of... See, federal government assistance isn't going to get you out of the rat race, isn't going to help your life be well. You know, city assistance, county assistance, state assistance, none of that stuff is. It's just going to keep you in a holding pattern that's substandard, in a neighborhood that's substandard, in a school system that's substandard, and your children will end up becoming substandard or worse. What I'm suggesting is I don't agree with my black friends. I don't agree with my black professional friends, my black middle class friends, friends that are working, friends that are educated. They're saying black people just aren't going to get it. We have to get it, or things are never going to change. It's not going to be well. We have to recognize that we have to do this. So I'm suggesting I have this organization that's a membership of $19.95. Join the organization. We will take those funds. We will create programs. We will unite the community based on the programs we create ourselves, not from a handout, but from our particular ownership. That is the purpose of this organization as far as I'm concerned. Again, we are doing traditional things. But this is the thing that impassions me. I want to be the coordinator. I want to say, no, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, all of us, join, become a member, put our monies together, begin to do things in our community that we paid for ourselves, not a handout. And I'm in the neighborhoods. Y'all know, some of y'all know I'm a mailman in West Dayton. Man, I've seen just yesterday and the day before, every single day, I see people from kids all the way to adults just walking around eating something, drinking a soda, drinking a 40, doing whatever they're doing. When they're done, just toss it into the ground. Why? I promise you, if that was their yard that they had paid for, they would not throw that onto the ground. But it's something that's been given to them. It's something that's been donated to them. And it's so they don't own it. They don't care. There's no desire within them to take care of it, but they will not do that to their own property if it were their property. I've seen people in cars, young people, older people alike, cruising in a nice little car, finish eating a hamburger or some food from a fast food or whatever they're doing, unroll the window and just throw the stuff out. But why? Because they own this car. So they're taking care of the car that they own, but they don't care about the surrounding communities. And so I'm using this concept. What I believe is if we invest in our own programs, we don't look for a program to be given to us or donated to us, by some kind of assistance or some kind of federal fund and all this stuff, because we won't appreciate it, we won't make it work. That's why they haven't worked in your life. But if we take ownership, and I'm not saying an exorbitant amount, I'm saying $20. I'm looking at everyone in this community put $20. We'll bring speakers in. We'll bring workshops in. That will fund the scholarship fund. Although we are seeking donations from fraternities and sororities and all, but it would be as well as we would put in ourselves. We need to begin to take ownership of our situation. We need to buy our neighborhoods back. We need to buy our families back. We need to buy our children back. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of the issues that our children have that are so negative is because they come out of our families, because of the parenting issues that we have that we don't even realize that we have. And I had a buddy, still do. His kid is grown now, but he was lamenting when his kid was growing up, his kid was smoking weed. And he had told his kid as he was growing up, don't smoke weed, don't smoke weed, don't smoke weed. And he was amazed that when his kid hit a certain age, started smoking weed, he just didn't know why. Now, my friend is drinking beer every night when he gets off of work, when he goes home. So this young kid was raised seeing his daddy getting a buzz every night off of work. And this kid grew up, he just chose a different kind of buzz. But what he learned a lesson from his dad, and his dad didn't even realize it. That's what I'm saying, parenting classes. We are screwing our kids up sometimes, and we don't even realize it. We love them. Now, some of us do. My wife had this program for a couple of years where the federal government was paying for teachers out of schools, local schools, to in their off time when they were off work to actually tutor kids from at-risk environments. And I know I was sitting in the parking lot over at the school, a school over on I think it was Fairview, one of those little schools. And I was sitting in the parking lot waiting for my wife to come out And I noticed, walking up, I think awful close coming up from Salem was this girl, a mother, and she looked like she was like a teenager. And she had a baby on her back, one of those things. And she also had her son, and by the hand, she was dragging him along, and she had a black eye. I mean, and so you could tell there was some stuff going on in this girl's life, and she was walking. So she's got one kid on the back, she's dragging this kid, and she's got a black eye, and she's dragging this kid to my wife's program. And without having talked, what I saw there, what was speaking to my heart was this woman didn't know what was going on. Her life was a mess. Her life was kind of jumbled. She was in a situation that was beyond her. But what she in her heart felt was that if this program is offering help for my son, I'm taking him there. And she was dragging this little boy to this program. Now, whether the program worked or not, I don't know. But what I learned from that is that no matter what our situations, no matter in life, we love our kids. You might have a crack addicted person. You might have someone who's alcoholic, homeless, even mental issues and all. But the one thing that we all have in common is that we love our kids. Now, based on our situation, our understanding, our learning, our mental perspective and all, we have varying degrees of an ability to tend to the needs of our children properly, but the one thing that we do have is love. And so what I'm focusing on is that. Because as I was being spoken to by these professionals, these black professionals, how our people are not going to get it, I'm thinking, no. The one thing we have in common is that we love our kids. Now, the one thing we also have in common is that sometimes the decisions that we make that might be a detriment to our lives are not that important to us to begin to do the right thing. That's why so many of us are overweight and out of shape, high blood pressure, diabetes. Our education system is jacked up. We're not working. Our whole life is jumbled. Our whole life is a mess. Because it seems sometimes that just our own personal well-being is not enough for us to make decisions to begin to improve our life situation. And I think that'll change in time. But even from a biblical scriptural verse, and the children shall lead them, if we focus on our kids who we love, am I willing to change for my child? Am I willing to adjust my lifestyle for my child? Yes. So what I'm suggesting is we need to begin to look at programs that are catered for our children, even if it's programs that are teaching us to be better for our children, because that's what we love. That's what we need to be well. And man, I was thinking the other day, man, we just need to stop having babies. We need to stop bringing children into this messed up world until we figure a way to fix the situation that we're bringing these children into. And what I'm suggesting today is I have the answer. The answer is ourselves. And I guess I'm kind of hard on our people sometimes. I'm just thinking we need to just stop begging folks. We need to stop trying to get assistance from the government, trying to get people to give us this and give me that. I mean, we might as well just get, we got tattoos. We might as well just tattoo a big H for handicap in the middle of our forehead. If we can't get along without help from somebody else, we're handicapped. Are black folks handicapped? If we are, we can put a big old H on our forehead. That's what I'm talking about. But no, I don't believe we are. We've just gotten too used to getting handouts. We've gotten too used to getting help. We need to realize that if we want our situation really to be the best that it can be, we're going to have to do this ourselves. I'm telling you. And it needs to start with our kids. Actually, it needs to start with ourselves, but if that's just too beyond us, we need to start with our kids because we know we love our kids. And the one thing about our lives, as jacked up as our life might be, look at your life. Think about your life right now. Do you really want that for your child? Really?